striker, as he did at Rangers. Now, a lot of the tactics were, done via Michael Beale, it has to be said. So that, that could be, we could see some change there, I guess. And I know that he's just brought in Blackpool's manager, hasn't he, to be his new assistant. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it goes. But for now, I can only work with what we've seen in the past, and I'm assuming that he'll stick with that. At goalkeeper, he's got Emi Martinez, who didn't have a season as spectacular as his first season. But he's a solid goalkeeper, and I'm sure he'll be there number one next year. Villa have also made Robin Olsen's loan deal permanent as his deputy as well, so they're absolutely fine at keeper. Right back, Matty Cash had a great season, and he'll definitely be first choice next year. Ashley Young can fill in there as well, but I assume he's not really going to be offered a new deal. I'm just going to check to see the latest news on that. No up-to-date news, but I would have thought that Ashley Young might leave as his contract is up. But Callum Chambers can also play at right back, as can Ezri Konsa, so I think they'll feel like they've got adequate cover at right back. Centre back, obviously they've moved quite quickly to sign Diego Carlos for 28 mil from Sevilla. He's had a decent but not spectacular season at Sevilla. And at 29, he'll bring experience to quite a youngish squad. He should start next to the captain Tyrone Mings, who's left-footed, and Diego Carlos is right-footed. This means that probably Ezri Konsa will now drop back to being cover, I would have thought, alongside Chambers and House. Left back, since arriving in January, I think Lucas Digne has been one of Villa's better players. Mings can fill in there, as can Courtney House if needed. If Ashley Young goes, then Villa will only have 7 defenders in total, though, so they may feel that bringing in an established deputy for Digne at left back could be a good idea. At DM, Douglas Luiz had a pretty good season. Marvellous Nakamba was plagued by quite a serious knee injury. Villa have moved quite quickly in this market though already, and they've brought in the quite sought after Boubacar Kamara from Marseille on a free. Personally, I wouldn't be surprised to now see Nakamba move on this summer with Luiz and Kamara kind of sharing that DM role. At centre mid, they've got John McGinn, who was probably Villa's best player, in my opinion. Again, I don't know whether they actually crowned him their player of the season or not. If not, I think they should have done. And it's clear Gerrard really likes him as well. Jacob Ramsey had a breakout season, and again, he's already a fan favourite. He's quite good box to box. It's clear he's definitely in Gerrard's plans going forwards. Morgan Sanson has barely had a kick this year, and again, there's a lot of rumours about him moving on. They've also got Carney Chukwuemeka, who's young and promising. However, I do think they could do with another body in there. Probably someone who can upgrade the team at centre mid. The inside right, number 10, then they've got Leon Bailey, who's had quite a tough start to life in the Prem. To be honest, I predicted that last summer when I was talking about Villa and their chances, and that's happened. I think they'll be hoping they can get a lot more out of Leon Bailey next season. He is definitely a talent, so it's there to be unlocked. He can play on the right or the left, so I assume that he'll probably be the main cover on both sides. Leon Bailey. Emi Buendia had a better start to his time at Villa, and he should be the starter on that right side. On the left, you've got Coutinho, who will play there, or if they play a diamond, he'll play in behind the two strikers. They've kind of got him for 18 million, which for me feels like a really good deal. He'll be the one they try and look to build the team around, you would think. Bertrand Traore is another player who can play on the right or the left, and he can be used as a backup option on either wing. They've also got Trezeguet and El Ghazi returning from loan, who I assume they're going to look to try and offload both of those guys. At striker, then they've got Watkins and Ings, who are 2 strong options to have. If it's primarily going to be only one playing, then I think that's enough. They've also got Wesley returning from loan, who again I assume is surplus to requirements. There is some talk about Luis Suarez coming in. I think that would be a mistake. I don't think they need him. I don't think he's got much to offer at this stage of his career. He's not had a good season at Atletico, so I wouldn't look to do that. I think they could therefore just look at signing 2 players at this point, really. which I don't think would be a bad shout bringing him in from Rangers, because I think he could provide cover for Digne, but also potentially might end up challenging Mings. He's a left-sided centre-back. I wouldn't be surprised if that, unfolded and he ended up challenging Mings. So I would go and make that happen and get Calvin Bassey. A centre mid, I think for Villa and the way they play, it requires somebody quite strong physically with athleticism and good box-to-box presence. For me, it'd be somebody that would be upgraded on Jacob Ramsey. Jacob Ramsey should still get game time, don't get me wrong, but I think Jacob Ramsey needs to come back to main backup for me. And that player for me, I would go and get James Ward-Prowse, who they have been linked with, and I think he'd be absolutely ideal, to be honest. I think it's probably his time to leave Southampton, so if they can make it happen, Villa should go and get him. That would leave a new starting 11 for me next season for Villa of Emi Martinez in net, right back Matty Cash, centre back Diego Carlos and Tyrone Mings, left back Luca Digne, DM, a job share of Kamara and Louise, one of those two playing, centre mid being McGinn and Ward-Prowse, and then Buendia as the right side at number 10, Coutinho as left side at number 10, and I'd probably plump for Ollie Watkins as my main striker. So, after a full summer, bringing in the players that he wants, Gerrard, I think this season is going to be a very, very big test of his credentials. Top 10 is an absolute must with this team. I don't see why that couldn't happen, but it's going to be a big, big season for Gerrard, and I think we'll really now start to see what he's about, particularly with Michael Beale leaving. But that's my thoughts on Villa, guys. I know they've been linked with bringing in more players than this. I'm not really sure of the need or how they can upgrade too much, though. So that would be the only business that